This is my fourth video in the 4-part series which I'm doing on my book, The Calling. It's my 8th inspirational book and it alone has won 6 international awards. And I had said this in my last one, but look at this. It says Priya Kumar, winner of 6 international awards, and ever since the book was published, this count has grown to 20. Out of which 6 are of The Calling alone. So in this part, I'm going to talk about how the character of Chandu came about in The Calling. So The Calling has 3 main characters. Arjun, the main protagonist, who goes on a trip to the Himalayas, where Chandu is his transporter, taking him from Govind Ghat to Hemkund Sahib, which is where he wanted to go, and the sadhu who he meets, who basically allows him the experiences so he gains the wisdom to sort out his life. So Chandu actually was just a transporter, just an ordinary transporter. His character was not very evolved or not a great contribution into the story, but as I started to write, I became so fond of him. You know, I became fond of this guy who takes people to a destination, who allows them the journey, and their life will never be the same again. Where he does that in a spirit of allowance, where he does that in granting you your space, where he does that in nudging you toward your greatest evolution. And in many parts, I am that Chandu. That is my business. That's what I do for a living in my motivational workshops. So Chandu was not a very difficult character to sketch. He's quite like me, fun, quirky, mischievous, and yet retaining that innate potential of wisdom and not being very, forthright about it, not being in your face, where he would say that, hey, I am going to teach you, I'm the one who's going to transport you, and I'm the one who's going to be that mediating factor from where you are to where you aspire to be. He allows Arjun that transformation, being a catalyst, being on the side and just taking pleasure in his growth without actively spoiling it for him. Where, you know, people interfere, they know the answers, but they interfere to a point that when you win, you don't feel like you won. You felt like that person did. And because of that intervention, the person who won is not confident if he can do it again. So Chandu is just the opposite. He allows you your victory. He's just around, ensuring that you're having a good time, ensuring that you're entertained, and ensuring that you're safe, ensuring that he's taking you to the right place where he knows it's time for you to grow up with the lesson that it holds. And I made the journey so interesting, where you have this wise soul. Arjun has Chandu in his company all the time, but in not being able to recognize him, in not being able to extract it from him, it's like it's his loss. And I have treated every single person in my life like Chandu. That if you're a part of my journey, what have you brought for me? What lesson, what hint, what clue have you brought for me? Where are you leading me, or where are you deviating me from, so that I can reach my calling faster? And in treating people with that respect, that they are a part of my purpose, even if I don't like them, I have many Chandus in my life. And the best part that I liked about Chandu is that he's funny. He's extremely funny. And I feel evolved people are funny because they see the humor even in the most devastating situations, because they understand that, hey, look, this is just a stepping stone for you to win that prize, which is another piece of you fitting the big jigsaw puzzle of the divinity that you hold in yourself. That's what's funny. He's quirky and sometimes to the point of irritating, and irritating because he wants you to be a tad irritated so you can slow down and say, hey, you know, or hey, I need to stop. Because you see, when you get irritated, you stop in an attempt to trying to make the other person stop. And sometimes just that action of putting a stop, taking a back step, or just a pause is enough for you to see light of that situation. And he's patient. He's patient enough to allow you your own space and your own pace for learning without trying to be overbearing and getting into your face and saying, can't you just see you're wasting my time? He's there in full allowance. He's the know-all. He's not the tell-all. A lot of times we meet people who are tell-alls. Even if they know this much, they will try to tell you so much. And how do you know that it's all just words? Because none of it is reflective in the person's personality or life. So Chandu is that character who in all humility and in all patience allows you your greatest evolution, and you get there. Arjun gets there, and once that is done, he looks for the next one whom he can transport to his calling. Chandu is my favorite character, and this book, The Calling, I dedicate to all the transporters, to all the Chandus who have come into my life by virtue of their presence. Even you, that you're watching this video, I know your comment is going to lead me somewhere. I know your presence, your email, your connection is going to lead me somewhere where I don't think I could have gotten by myself. So this book is a special thank you and a dedication to every single person who has been in my vicinity, who has allowed me through their doing or through their non-doing to learn a lesson, to grow and to be better. So if you get a chance to read the book, you have to write to me, you have to connect. So here is an excerpt that I chose for you, which is something that Chandu says in the end to Arjun. He says, I am Chandu Sahib. I am a listener. I listen to the world. I listen to the energy when it shifts out of balance. I listen for unhappiness. I listen for change. And when I connect with the source of that unrest, when I connect with the willingness for change, I send out a calling. And I wait for them to follow their guidance to arrive here in the mountains so that I can help them listen to their purpose. And when they listen to their own voice and the power that it holds, my job is done with that particular soul. So this is Chandu the Transporter, and I'd be happy for you to read The Calling.